Hey there, Kirsten here. Today I wanted to share with you some of the common mistakes or issues that I see many independent retailers make when it comes to their inventory that could be costing them cash in the bank. And it's oftentimes just simply for a lack of the data that they need to make the decisions. So I'm Kirsten Hynds from Canadian Retail Solutions, and I'm one of the retail business coaches here on the team, and I get the luxury of working with independent retailers like yourself as a strategic and objective partner in their business. And what I do is I bring the science and the math through the most accurate and sophisticated sales forecasting tools, data, and reports on the market that allows you to marry your art of buying so that we can balance the flow of your inventory so we have the right product at the right time in the right classification to not only create stark raving fans out of your customers to keep them coming back for more, but also to be more profitable by decreasing markdowns and ultimately creating more cash in your bank account. So now over the years, I've worked with a lot of independent retailers, and some of the things I've noticed seem to be a common thread. Now, a lot of retailers measure the performance of their inventory and their store performance strictly based on the margin reports from their point of sale. So that might be good, but it's missing a piece of the puzzle. One of the key performance indicators that we use as a litmus test in our planning sessions is GMROI, or gross margin return on investment. Now this is looking not only at margin, but it's also looking at your average inventory for the last 13 months. So we can now see how our profitability relates to our inventory turn. So this is a much more valuable component that most retailers don't even know exists. Which brings me to point number 2. Because we're trying to protect our margin from our reports, retailers are oftentimes too hesitant to put markdowns on their product and clear out old goods. I often get the argument, a white shirt's a white shirt. It doesn't matter how long it's in my store, I can sell it at full margin. Well, if you think of it as old inventory can hold your cash hostage. So look at that white t-shirt. The second it lands in your store, the clock is ticking on when you have to pay that. So if you have net 30-day terms with your vendor, you have to pay that bill at that 30-day mark, whether you've made any sales of the products or not. So if you haven't, you're effectively stealing cash from something that might be moving quicker to pay that bill. And now that product is still sitting in your store 60, 90 days longer. The longer you do that, the more thick your inventory becomes, your cash will be stuck in there, and you will get to a point where you're no longer going to have the cash available to you to reinvest in the stuff that's really moving, bringing in new inventory, which is what your customers are looking for. So we actually plan for markdowns in our buying plan because it's a necessary evil. We're going to be going in and out of season, and we have to get the cash back to bring the new stuff in. So now talking about a buying plan, one of the issues or mistakes that I see retailers make just for lack of knowledge or data is that they create buying budgets based on vendor. So they look at the reports, what they sold the previous year, maybe add some points onto it, and come up with their buying budget. The problem with that is that vendors can run hot and cold. A designer can change, or maybe the season it just doesn't come out as great. And it's actually not how our customers shop. It's not. A customer, if you think about it, is looking for a dress. They're going to come to you for a special occasion. Of course, they're going to be drawn to your store because you carry their favorite brand, but ultimately when they get there, they're going to look at all of your dress assortment and find the one that best suits them. So in the plans that we use, we're planning at the class level so we can see, regardless of that vendor trending, we can see where opportunities lie to generate the most cash and buy into the plan accordingly.